Ooh. Hang on, I just want to make sure. There we go. And our guests tuning in online, we're going to call the meeting to order officially at 3:03 p.m. And I'm going to go ahead and look to our secretary. Have we reached quorum? Beautiful. With the Parliamentarian, where actually is, okay, yep, Parliamentarian has informed me that quorum has been established to conduct business of the day. We are going to move into approval of the minutes. And all senators should have a chance to review those. Are there any questions or comments from August minutes? Wonderful. Okay. Who would like to move to approve August minutes? Awesome. Senator McCormick, and a second. Awesome. Senator Carey. All in favor say aye. All opposed say no. All right. The ayes have it. All right. So we're going to move right into updates. Before I get started, I did want to share from last month's meeting. We talked about this in exec as a committee, but when we are bringing up, if we have our guest speakers, which we'll introduce today, but if we're bringing up topics of discussion, we do want to avoid putting distinct names in for the general body, because that does out and put out, if it's issues, if it's very personalized issues or situations with people, we want to refrain from that. So if we are bringing up bigger situations, if we cannot say specific names, and if we can just keep it as broad and general, and if there is specific issues, right, or things that you want to bring up to a speaker, we do ask that you then connect with them after the meeting, and then move along that way. So in our themes, naturally, I wanted to share the celebrations that have kind of come up throughout. So with our ex officio representation, it is official. We have a third ex officio leadership member on the behalf of Staff Senate to help guide us and advocate for our behalf on the Provost side of the House. So that is, there she is. Hello. This is our Vice Provost for Strategy and Innovation, Shannon Means. We are very excited to have representation on an ex officio status within the Provost office. And so Shannon, thank you for being here, and would encourage you all after today's meeting to introduce yourself to Shannon, just share who you are, what areas you represent. She, along with Vice President for Human Resources, Carolina Gardy, and Vice President for Access, Civil Rights, and Community Engagement, Julian Williams, are our three at-large leadership ex officio members for our general body. And so I'm very excited that she is here today and supporting our work. I did also want to share an update. We want to give a big thank you. And I know Senator Chelsea Malloy is not with us any longer. She has actually left USC officially and has moved to a role with the United Way of the Midlands. And so with that, her last day was August 30th, and wanted to share that news with you all. And we are solidifying that senator's seat for the School of Law. But if you all have that connection, she is still immersed in the Columbia community. We really just want to thank her for her work. And so if you're connected to her in other ways outside of the USC email system, please connect with her and just thank her for her work. She's done incredible things, and I have no doubt that her time serving the university is what also allowed her to now serve Columbia in the greater good. So very excited for Senator Chelsea Malloy. All right, collaboration. We do have the Health and Wellness Expo coming up for all staff. So this is something that you should be sharing with your team. That is going to be in the Russell House Ballroom from 8 to 2 p.m. where it's the mix of wellness and benefits and everything that HR helps lead. Is there anyone that sits on the committee in here that can give an update? Okay, I will find out specifics to send out for you all to keep sharing. So Michaela, I will connect with you that we can share in the bigger Staff Senate minutes, but really encourage your staff members to go to this Wellness Expo, Health and Wellness Expo, to help them see what route they get by being a staff member at the university and what benefits that they have for being a part of the university. We are looking for volunteers. Jessica did send out anyone that could sign up for 2-hour shifts just to have representation. And all you'd be doing is repping our table, telling people what we do as Staff Senate and how they can get connected as staff members, and would really encourage y'all to sign up with Jessica. We do have the State of the University that is going to be tomorrow, and it's going to be in the Russell House Ballroom as well. And I really encourage you all, if you can tune in, if they are going to live stream it, but attend in person. I do know that President Emeritus is going to share information about Staff Senate, including talking about the Appreciation Day, talking about a lot of initiatives. He might share or drop a couple things that we're working with him on for the behalf of the staff experience. I am not yet able to share what that is, but wanted to make sure that you know that he's on our side as well and wants to make the staff experience the best it can be. And so I hope that the state of the university will hear a little bit more. On Friday, we also have the Provost retreat where we have been invited, and you all have been invited as your positions as staff senators. Whenever we do get invited to things like this, really take that just to heart and really see that the benefit of attending, because leadership does see your role as important as change agents, as change makers within this university. And that's why they want you at the table. So when we get invitations like that, please take those as serious as you can. But again, we know that this is a volunteer gig. So if there's other conflicting things or duties that you have, please know that that is completely fine. But we really encourage you to be there to just hear where the university is going, especially from the provost lens and faculty side of the house. And you'd have to RSVP to attend, which is on that website. So if that is something that you would like to see this Friday, please attend. All right. Actually, I'll drop a little bit here. So I'm going to get, where is Toni? Not here. Okay, I'm going to get with her. So the university, I had my meeting with the president or with President Emeritus a few weeks ago, and he has committed and dedicated. So all my people that are on the staff awards and appreciation committee, which is really exciting. Okay, my few that are here right now. The president wants to expand it and is dedicated to expanding the awards out across the university for every large scale division, unit, representing all. So he is tasked, his leadership, to have a task force combined with us and so that's where the staff awards and appreciation committee is going to come in to partner up and to be at the table to figure out what is the make to represent our whole community in awards, and then what financial connection is going to happen. And then this committee, based off his leadership from his cabinet with our staff senate, is going to create the future of what the awards is really going to look like in an expanded way. I can't say more to what the dreams really could be, other than President Emeritus is dedicated and is fully backing financially behind this for staff. So yeah, let's give an applause on that. So we're going from 3 awards to potentially 46. So think about that. That's huge. Right? So thinking about all the areas you represent, because he wants it to be meaningful. So if you have a larger division, you would then have more awards to make up kind of the ratio. So that's the things that are happening right now. And that was just all from that one conversation with the president. So we are working on that. There's nothing dedicated yet, but I wanted to make sure you all were in the loop of that innovation coming through. That's huge. And then speaking with having Shannon Means here with us, we are partnering with Shannon and her leadership and with the Provost office to reestablish at the university a Women's Leadership Institute. A lot of you might know WLI is just a one-time event that might have happened in the spring. Well, that is inclusive of that event, but really now it's going to expand to be inclusive for faculty, staff across the university and different areas when it comes to women's leadership. And so we are trying to create a think tank at the moment of what could this look like? How do we revamp? How do we bring this back alive? Because what was formerly known as the Provost Advisory Council on Women's Initiatives, PACWI for short, is no longer a moving group. It is really the WLI is the new name and the new idea moving forward. So if you are interested to be a part of this, in your role as staff senators, I would love you all to come up afterwards, talk with Shannon and I. Will get your information down, but we want to create a think tank of what it means to redevelop women's leadership on our campus. And then again, in a partnership with the Provost office for how they're going to lead what initiatives happen throughout. What questions can I answer with these updates? There's a lot of moving pieces happening. but we are really excited to go forward. So again, afterwards, if you're at all interested, and same with the affiliate ad hoc committee, I've got 2 senators with myself, Chris, and a few others with the affiliate ad hoc committee. But afterwards, if you're interested in that, please let us know as well after this meeting. All right. So lo and behold, I'm so excited to announce our 2 guest speakers today. We have Amanda Therrell, who is the director of the Graduation and Retention Network at the university. Garnet is the name. And as well as Dr. LaNae Budden, director of the First Generation Center, with Melissa Keller and their team to talk about the First Generation Center. So I'm going to invite Amanda up first, and then they'll switch out after, but talk to a little bit about what they do, how their work is meaningful on this campus, but then how can you as senators help their work, but how they can also help you in what you do in your work. All right, let's give them a round of applause.
Thank you all so much for having us. This is exciting. I've never seen it in action like this. It feels very exciting. Again, I'm Amanda. I'm the director of the Graduation and Retention Network. Just wanted to share with you about the work that we do in our office. This just provides some context of where it's coming from for the work that we're doing. When Dr. Arnett came to the university, these were the goals that she set out. I'll give you a second to look that over. We're currently just below those goals for retention and graduation at 89% and just under 70%. She also created the Graduation and Retention Council, which is an interdepartmental council that reviews barriers to degree completion and systemic process improvement. So these are the goals of the Graduation and Retention Network under which we were created. And you can see here some of the programs and initiatives that we have under those goals. You might remember us as the On Your Time Initiatives Office, where we had programs to help students catch up, get ahead, and stay on track to degree completion. And now we further that mission with retention and interventions. Under us, we have the summer semester, winter session, accelerated study plans, Complete Carolina, and interdisciplinary certificates. Additionally, before the First Gen Center launched, most recently, we worked together with over 70 members across 5 committees to begin to work to develop the First Gen Center last fall. We currently have over 20% of our student population are First Gen students, and the existing initiatives that were on our campus did not meet that need, so we worked to develop what you now know as the First Gen Center. And we also have Helen over here, who's my counterpart.
Good afternoon, everyone. How are y'all doing? Okay, love the energy today. I'm LaNae Budden. I'm the director of the First Generation Center. I've been here since March 15th, so it's been great to come back to the university for this important initiative in all the ways that the university is looking to support first generation students.
And my name is Melissa Kupfer, and I'm the assistant director of the First Gen Center. I'm happy to see some familiar faces in the room. I've been with the university since 2005, and I was previously a staff senator. So thank you all for volunteering to do this important work. And most recently in June, I took the role as assistant director of the First Gen Center because I really wanted to be a part of this important work that we are doing to support the first generation college students on USC campus and get involved with all the important things that are happening at the center.
I see some people in the room who have been involved in committees. You might be serving as mentors. So I'm going to ask a question before we show you the next slide. When we say first gen, what do we mean? We're saying our students, you're first gen, we're telling them that. What do we mean by that definition?
Neither parents. I guess neither of their parents have a four-year college degree.
Yes, absolutely. Look at one of our mentors right there. I wish I had something to give you. So yes, that is what we mean. We do use the national TRIO federal definition when we define that. So if a student has a sibling who's gone to school before them, is that student still classified as first gen? They are. We're spending a little time here just because you all can help us. From our first Insights tool presentation in July, we know that a lot of people are unsure about what the definition is, and the more we're aware of it, we can help students to know. I've seen a lot of faculty and staff as well who are like, oh, I was first gen. Because if you went to school back when I did, that wasn't the term that we were using at that time. And now that it is, we want to make sure students know. The other thing to keep in mind about the definition, students are identifying on the admissions application. That's where we're pulling the information from, but it does not ask the question, are you first gen? Instead, it asks about your parents' level of education, and behind the scenes, it creates the banner attribute to let them know. So that's another place where that help. Our awareness is important, so that way students can know what it is that we mean by that.
All right, thank you. So we wanted to tell you a little bit about the First Gen Forward Network. This is a national initiative to increase dedicated outcomes for the first gen student. And the University of South Carolina was just recently named a First Gen Forward Network leader. So that's very exciting. We are part of a larger network across the United States of higher education institutions that are coming together to share data, innovations, and strategies to enhance the support of the first generation college student.
At this time, we wanted to introduce you to one of our students. I think for both Melissa and myself, we would say one of the great things being here and doing our interview, we're meeting the great students. So we want to hear what a student has to say about the First Gen Center and her hopes.
Sometimes embedded videos in PowerPoint don't play that well. Sorry.
Okay, it's not your fault. It's okay.
We'll send it out.
It's okay, Jerry. We don't blame you.
Definitely. So Shalia, she was just mentioning how she hopes that the center will be a beacon of hope for other first gen students. And that's indeed what we're hoping as well, as we create things and build upon the work of the committees that worked tirelessly for this past year. We want to also let you know our approach, so that way you can take that with the first gen students you work with.
So at the First Generation Center, we believe in using an asset-based approach when working with our students. That is to identify and focus on the student's strengths rather than anything that they may not have. It's not to ignore the fact that they may have some deficits in some areas, but it's the focus being on all the things that they have that are assets or strengths to help them to overcome any challenges that they may be facing. And sometimes students don't recognize those own strengths or assets in themselves. So it's our job to help them identify those strengths and assets by talking with them about the various things that they've accomplished along the way to get to university, and to utilize those same strengths and assets throughout their educational journey.
With the center's core functions, there's a few things we wanted you to know. The first one is for us to provide support and advocacy. We want to make sure that our first gen students feel that they belong here at the university as a whole. We also want to make sure that we're able to advocate. One of the things that Amanda's office was able to do was we realized at a first gen symposium, students mentioned how sometimes they get into a class, they don't know about the additional fees, and how for some people who may have limited income, that can be problematic. So Amanda was able to work on a fee transparency where students are able to see those additional things. The small things can make a difference. And of course, we know that's not going to help just our first gen students. It's going to help all of our students as well to be able to prepare and to know what to expect academically.
In addition, we are trying very hard to develop some comprehensive programming and services for the first generation college student to complement and add on to what's already been done at the university or what's being done at the university through these various initiatives, and trying to pull that all together so that we have a very comprehensive list and we can work together across programs and across areas. We're also developing a comprehensive and fun mentorship program for the first generation college students. And we have been seeking volunteers to serve as mentors. If you've ever done a mentoring program, you know that that is a interesting but unique opportunity to be involved with a student and their development. And we hope that through this mentorship program, we can help the students who are coming here for the first time ever without perhaps the knowledge of what to expect to fit into the USC community and to blossom.
And then the last bullet of one of our core functions is really looking at research and scholarship. As an R1 institution, of course, that's something that's important. So we will continue to make sure we're able to publish, present, share what we're doing, and then also encouraging others to do the same in the realm of first generation student support and success.
So one of the unique items that we have, the First Gen Center is actually located, our office space is actually located in Maxey College, which happens to be a First Gen living and learning community. So if you're familiar with living and learning communities, you know this is a way for students to be with people that are having similar experiences as them. And the director of the First Gen LLC is Dr. Stephen Thompson. So he works 20 hours a week. He's in that space. He's talking with students, supporting them. And then we work collaboratively with him to provide additional supports and initiatives and connect students with programming.
So we're going to invite Amanda back up here too for this one because it's really talking about how we can partner, and that's with Garnet, with the First Gen Center, and then we would love to hear from you about how we can support Staff Senate as well.
The first is just to help us identify barriers to degree progression and retention from the perspectives of the departments that you're in. There's a couple of people in here that did serve on the Graduation and Retention Council. And so you can bring that back to the Staff Senate if there's questions or send them to us. Those come from the areas of social support, financial support, health and wellness, anything that you see that's prohibiting a student's degree progression or retention. So we're always looking for data on those groups and ways that we can overcome those hurdles.
We recently put out that we do have a faculty and staff module that you can complete to learn more about how to support first gen students. It went out, I know, earlier this week in the University Advising in that particular newsletter, and should go out in others. It's also on our website under training. It's resources for faculty and staff, or faculty and staff resources. If you want to learn more, you can do that. And then there's ways to be recognized. We also have, if you want to sign up to be a mentor, mentors way back at me. It's about 3 o'clock. We got some in there. We want to acknowledge that as well. So being a mentor, the internships, and some of the stuff we're stating, you can think about how to do it in your offices, but you might also be working with faculty members and others. For first gen students though, we're really trying to push the paid internships as well. Those opportunities to make sure that they're able to get involved. That's the same with the research. You might have individuals who's doing that. Why not bring a first gen student alongside you? I know I had one faculty member who reflected about sometimes when you're sitting and you're looking at credentials and students are applying, you may have some who have long resumes, long experiences, and then you may have a student who does not have that. Doesn't mean they're not capable, they just need to be provided an opportunity. So please keep that in mind so that way we can advance. That's also a high impact practice that we know leads to retention of our first gen students as well. The other things, we have a faculty and staff form. So if you have not received your button or sticker yet and you identify as first gen, you'll be able to click on that once the PowerPoint goes out. We love to get that to you. And how many are teaching as well? I know some do you 101, might do other classes. We have released and worked in collaboration with the Lisa office to do a basic needs syllabus statement, so students can feel comfortable speaking up, knowing where to go to get support. It's real. We have students who have some challenges with still housing, food insecurities, and other supplies, and we need to make sure we're able to address it. It's hard to be successful academically, personally, and all around if you don't have your basic needs met. So we're really trying to make sure our students know where to go to get that support. The last couple of things, we do have center events. If you ever want to volunteer, let us know. We'd love to have you to participate. There are some off-campus activities sometimes we may do that you may want to go to. And then also feel free, think about in your space, how are you supporting first-generation students? Is there an event you can host? Is there an initiative? Is it something as simple as sending out an email of encouragement? Starting small can still make a difference. So that completes the
Yes, so we are going to be celebrating all first-gen students on this campus. The first week of November is First Gen Week. It's a national thing that's happening at institutions, and we encourage you to think about how you can work with your leadership in your space to create some signature events in your college or division for first-gen students, faculty, and staff to recognize them and their hard work. And also encourage your students and others to participate in the ones that will be planned by the center for the university at large. Okay, so more to come on those.
So we'll open it up to you if there's any questions or ways that we can serve you or work with you as Staff Senate.
Definition of first gen, is that represent only undergrads or graduates?
It represents both. Graduate students, though, is an area of improvement for us to be able to capture the information. If the student, some of you might, if you pull reports, you may see some grads who are identified. That's because they went here undergrad and the attribute's still on, but we do not have it for everyone. So we're definitely trying to work with the different deans, graduate dean, to try and see how can we capture that. But the definition is definitely for everyone. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. I appreciate that question because we were just recently at the Grad Expo. We had a lot of students stopping by talking with us. They have a desire to be mentored and to be supported. So think about that in your spaces as well. If you have graduate students that are working for you, they may be first gen and may also want some additional supports. And this is an area that we hope to grow. As Dr. Budden said, that's an area for improvement for us. Anything else? Yes.
Again, under your definition of first generation student, if a student have parents who completed a four-year degree internationally, would they still be considered a first generation student here in America?
That's a great question. We get that often at Open House, Admitted Student Day. It will depend on what they put on the admissions application. However, we definitely see a need to serve those students. So what we ask that they do, come to our office so that way we can add them manually to our listserv. So that way they can still get information, be serviced by the center, but we're just not able with that attribute to pull them in automatically.
Yes.
Letter that we can get added to hear about events with the First Gen Center.
We are, yes, in that direction, almost there. So we will probably put that out in other newsletters as well for people to be able to sign up. And then that way you can get it that way. Yes.
Thank you.
Still accepting mentors?
We are loving the excitement about the mentor program, and we've had a lot of people say yes, they wanted to be mentors. We've had some people that unfortunately couldn't serve as mentors because life happens, you know. So if you're really dying to be a mentor, I want to help you be a mentor. So contact me for sure. We will get you involved. Thank you. No, mentors do not have to have been first generation college students. We classify you as an ally if you are not. Yes.
Can you speak a little bit more
I'd be happy to. So the mentor program is a group model. And what we're doing is we're grouping students with at least 3 mentors and 5 to 6 approximately other mentees will be in the group. We're calling those the Cocky Crews. Isn't that cute? Yeah, I knew you liked that. And the time commitment for mentors is approximately 2.5 to 3 hours a month. We're hoping ideally that there would be one large group meeting for approximately an hour. And then you would meet with that group for the hour. And then each mentor would have 2 mentees that you would touch base with for like 30 minutes twice a month or once for an hour for a total of 3 hours. Yeah. Anything else?
Well, thank y'all so much for the opportunity to come. I hope we have more supporters of first generation students. It matters. I'll leave y'all with this stat just real quickly. We're in the 50% retention range for first generation students from their first fall to second fall. We're in the 50% range from first fall to second fall. There's work to be done, and we know with the support of supportive faculty and staff, we can move those numbers in a positive direction to help to continue to transform generations and their families. So thank you so much for your support, and we'll turn it back over to your president.
Wonderful. Thank you all so much. All right, we are going to move into the reports of all of our committees. So again, we have our people tuning in online and guests online. So if you can come up to the podium or be near this speaker right here so people can hear you. And if people ask questions, if you don't mind restating the question and then giving that answer as you answer. So let's go ahead and start. Membership committee, come on up. No reports. You got it. All right, communications.
Hello, everyone. I do want to say we do hope to see some of you at the State of the University tomorrow, and I can confirm because I have the script from the president that he does mention Staff Appreciation Day and gives a big thank you to all who made that happen. So really excited to be mentioned in that. And I don't know what else you're talking about. I was scrolling through. I'm excited to see what that is. But that's exciting. The communications committee is working this week and gonna really start the process of updating the website. So reminder to all of our communications committee members to scroll through and make those notes in our OneDrive. And then we also did get this actually news to my committee too. Our committee, I have the official ask-in with Central Communications, our office, to do a staff senate kind of history and founding video. So they've gotten the word that we'll be calling on them, but we're probably going to start that around the new year. So nothing right away. And I think that's it.
There wasn't anything else that you wrote down?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's it. Thank you. All right, staff policy well-being.
Afternoon, everybody. Just a few updates real quick from staff, policy and well-being. So Amanda Minute off of our committee group. She'll be soon meeting up with Jessica Kumas, who works in facilities for her specialty is interior design. So they'll be collaborating on mental health spaces across campus and look into that availability. Shout out to Jessica McCormick on our team. She'll be helping serve on a committee as a representative of our committee on EVP, which is the Employee Value Proposition Study, in conjunction with Kim Pruitt's office over in HRD. And then on a minor note, Siegel Consulting, who's been working with Central HR here at the university, they should have some updates for the HR website this week. And lastly, before I hand it over to Cami, is I reached out to Molly Pirano today to see about Title IX joining for one of our committee meetings. So hopefully she'll join within one or two of the next ones coming up.
No, I like that.
Okay,
Thank you.
thanks.
So probably our biggest news, thanks for letting me do that one.
Yeah.
Is if you've been to our last few meetings here in general body, we have been looking at dependent tuition remission policies, and we had a big legislative hump to go over, and we were planning to go full force. We spent pretty much the past 2 months on it. The great news is that our voice has been heard, and Vice President for HR, Karen Gardy, is working with HEPA, which is, thank you for writing this out, a Higher Education Efficiency Administrative Act legislation group. And they have agreed to continue moving forward with the possibility for tuition remission for employees. The state HR contact is going to be using the data that our partner Katie Hopkins created along with the rest of us in our committee. She's sending the information she's compiled, and this has been discussed with Ed Walton and Craig Parks. So that's pretty great. That they said yes. We did not expect a yes that quickly or to be able to turn that work over that quickly. So in response, while we are transitioning from the primary goal of tuition remission, we've started working on a survey to send out to senators to take on behalf of your constituents to kind of reassess what the issues and the policies that staff as a whole are interested in us looking at. Because again, we had our one big goal, and it's September, and we're done with it for the time being. So
Way to get the shit.
thank you, good team. And everyone else, I think so look for that from us. We had our first meeting to work on that, so we will provide more information as we have it. And my last bullet, Megan already stole. She met with us. No, thank you. I can sit down faster. She was asking kind of our opinion about PACWE and the Women's Leadership Initiative and Institute and what we thought on it. And we said, yep, good job, do that. Any questions? Wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you.
And as the PD committee comes on up, I did want to clarify. So with that, they are taking that to the legislative level. They're figuring out how to package it, how to put it before senators at the state house and House representatives. So it is really background work that is out of our hands now. So we really appreciate leadership for being with us on that journey and then moving forward now, right? So this is the amazing part of Staff Senate is seeing these things taken to that next level. So I'll pass it off now to professional development.
Hey guys. So as a lot of you may have seen, thanks to Margie for creating a survey for Staff Senate to see what kind of PD opportunities you're interested in. If you have not yet taken the survey, Jessica sent it out sometime last month. You can use this QR code here to take it now. We have secured Lindsay Crawford from the Controller's Office. Will be coming in September, or not September, sorry, September's now, December. December to be giving us a little presentation on their office and who's in it and what they do. I'm currently working with athletics to see if we could work out another free event like the basketball game that we did last year, but we'll see. We may have to maneuver a little bit, but we'll see what we can do. Next meeting is September 18th at 2:30 p.m.
Your response rate for the survey?
I think we have, last time I talked to Margie, she said we had about 20 people.
About half, a little less than half.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but I haven't gotten an update in a minute, so we might have more.
And as an update, it was kind of a little bit hidden in messaging, but please know that the staff and faculty tickets have shifted at the university. That's where the hiccup comes from. Where no longer do you have free access to athletic tickets for basketball, women's basketball, baseball. Which other one? There's one more, or maybe those were the only two. Those were the big two that changed. So if you have staff that really love athletics, I think just please encourage them. If they did not know that change did happen. But we still do get discounts as staff, but yes.
We'll see what we can do.
Yeah. So we're gonna figure out what we can do. All right. All right, we got community project.
Good afternoon. A couple of updates for community projects. First, we'd like to thank everyone who donated to our International Student Household Item Drive, the Gamecock Community Shop. They are still in need of the following items: bed sheets, towels, bath mats, shower curtains, liners, shampoo, conditioner, soap, deodorant, body wash, laundry detergent, and pillows that are gently used. Next month, we'll be holding clothes drive for the Carolina Closet, which provides professional clothing for students and staff. Please feel free to bring any items that you may have in your closet that you want to donate at next month's staff meeting. Also, again, this year we have adopted a teacher and their class for the 24-25 school year. Thanks to Senator Burkett, we identify a teacher with Irmo Middle School, Miss West. She teaches Spanish for Richard Lexington 5. We'll update you when we get those items that she'll need for her classroom. We will continue to work with the Ronald McDonald House like we did last year for the tab drive. So as you collect those from your constituents, please bring them to the staff meeting and we'll collect them at the beginning of each meeting starting next month. And we thrown around the idea of working on possibly adopting the highway near the campus, a part of Keep the Midlands Beautiful, adopt a highway street program. We'll be required to clean up the highway 4 times a year. Additional information about that will be coming. And our next community project meeting is next Tuesday, the 17th at 3 o'clock on Teams. Any questions? Yes, ma'am.
Drop off for stuff for international students. I brought stuff today, so.
Let's take it.
Yeah, she can take it.
You're welcome.
Okay.
I'm very sorry, I take it. So.
You answer it?
And do anyone else need a little container for the pool tabs that we had last year? We still have the ones for last year. See, other ones? Okay.
Looks like a few hands are over there that need them.
Need one? Okay, I'll work with you. Any other questions?
And I just wanted to mention, thank you all for, they reached out to me and do our Carolina Teacher Induction Program. We're working with a first year teacher who needs supplies, who is a USC graduate. He does teach Spanish, and I got the list and sent it on, but clearly not to the right people. So I will go back and make sure it gets to the right people so that they can let everybody know. And it's, so we asked for, and I asked her to keep it, because I was like, I don't know what Spanish teachers use, but it's paper, pencil, regular, just supplies that our students don't have.
And her last name, West, first name is?
Her first name is Lydia West.
Anything else? Thank you.
Thank you. All right, bylaws, come on down.
Citing or anything to vote on or share. But did want to share that our committee has had multiple robust discussions now on attendance requirements, specifically like virtual attendance and impact on voting, the voting experience, et cetera, impact on the senator experience. So what we have decided is we would like to informally collect feedback from you all on how we should proceed in these conversations that we're having. So we will put together a survey and send that out to you all at some point soon to like I said, just collect your feedback and kind of give us a little bit more direction on where we're going.
All right, awards and recognition, come on down.
All right, y'all may have figured out I am not Toni Karl. I am the rookie senator subbing in for our veteran quarterback, so I'm going to give our information as far as the staff appreciation day, what we've talked about as far as staff recognition. First of all, we are planning on having subcommittee signups starting around November for the various aspects of Staff Appreciation Day, such as food, decorations, entertainment, logistics, communication, registration awards, etc. So we will give a lot more information on that when we get closer to that. We did talk about the Appreciation Day location. Did enjoy the Russell House. I know last year it was because the weather and had to shift very quickly as far as I'm concerned. I thought the event was great just from a one who participated. I came towards the end, but I thought it was wonderful. It's hard to believe it wasn't planned to be indoors because I thought y'all pulled it off really, really well, those of you that were on that committee. But we did discuss possibly having it at different locations each year or keeping it at the same location. We're looking into some stuff now on the location, so we will talk more about that next time. As far as one of the things we're looking at is cost. The Russell House is a lot more affordable than maybe some other locations on campus, but we're looking at where we can get the best deal, but also the best experience for the staff. So that is something that we'll definitely talk about in future reports. We want to include a philanthropic part of the event, possibly. So maybe to donate some items when the staff comes. We could, as we get closer, talk about some of those items, food items for the Gamecock Supply Closet or the community shop, things to assist students, faculty, and staff. So that might be an idea for us to bring some items in a philanthropic part of Staff Appreciation Day. The timeline of Appreciation Day, one of the things, and I'll speak for this, and I spoke to the group about this. I was one of the 97 nominees, and I've never won a university award, and I've been here since 1998. So I was delighted to be nominated. It was a big deal for me. But I will tell you, when I read that letter and it said to invite a +1, I thought I had won. Okay, and I don't think that was the intent of the letter at all. But it was one of those things that once we got there, and it was basically just the award winners, because by that time, everyone had kind of disseminated out. It was 97 of us wondering which 3 of us were going to win the award, which still was a great experience. It was wonderful to be nominated. That's not in any way to downgrade the experience. I was gratified to be nominated, gratified to get pictures, gratified to get certificate and everything else. But I think we talked about like maybe moving the timeline, maybe having it where more staff teammates can be with you if you are nominated or win an award. So I think we're just kind of looking at different aspects of that. Once again, I think it was all successful. It's just a matter of kind of seeing if there's any way that we can have where we have more involvement in the awards day process, where people from your area can root you on if you're one of the nominees. So that's kind of where we are. Definitely have more updates later on. Our next meeting will be next Tuesday at 3 o'clock on Teams. Any questions or anything? Thank you.
I will share on the expansion of awards. That discussion will come. They're also thinking about different events. So this committee that's going to be formed with the leadership and our staff senate, that is also going to explore what are some other appreciation moments that can happen throughout the year that lead up to the bigger event. And so I think that's going to be an incredible opportunity. So we'll keep you all posted as that group, and it's a working group just for fall. So we're figuring out how fast and how much movement it's going to make come that collaboration come spring. All right, scholarship and fundraising, come on down.
Here's my QR code. Every month, here's my QR code to raise money through our staff senate fund QR code for the same one for Give for Garnet. Last month we invited Jennifer Blyton from Clemson, our counterpart at Clemson, who does the same kind of committee. It's not the same name. And they give many, many scholarships, but theirs are all to dependent, to the children of staff. And they also have an emergency fund. And so I remember during COVID, we had an emergency fund, but I haven't seen or been able to find much about it since then. And so in our next meeting, we will try to explore what an emergency fund looks like. Clemson's been at this much longer than us, so their scholarship is endowed. They give over 50 dependent scholarships every semester. And but they shared lots of information about how they earn their money for their funds. And so pretend these are words and I am eating them because it looks like we will have a golf tournament come springtime. So they said that is the most successful thing that they do every year. And they also have some where the staff senate challenges the faculty senate and head to head. And, you know, they raise money and we raise money and we keep our money and they keep their money. And so there's no, I mean, everybody's a winner if you ever, everybody's getting money. So anyway, so I know Savannah was looking a little bit at that, trying to get something like that in place leading up to like homecoming, just to get our fund started. But in the spring, I see Tyson's not here today, but Terrence and I think, Katie, you had some experience with golf tournament. Yes. So we have some experience, but we will need a lot of help to run this golf tournament and finding our golf course and whatnot. And we are lucky to have I will butcher this name, but Galeen from Arts and Sciences. She's the director of development there. She's not a staff senator, but she just loves the staff and wants to help us and our committee. And so we're lucky to also have her because she is a golfer and has also been involved in golf tournaments. So we will be looking for help very soon. And our next meeting's next Tuesday at 10 o'clock.
All right, thank you. I do Thursday. All right, we are going to move into the business portion of our meeting, and I'm going to now recognize our parliamentarian to share the second reading of our bylaw amendments, and then we will also go before a vote. Yeah, all right. Oh, yeah, and a motion to read it.
Motion to read.
Yes, here we go. Robert's rules. Can I get a motion to read the second, or for the second reading of the bylaws? Okay, Senator Epps.
Can you do
second.
it interpretive dance?
Yes, I will.
Okay, can I get a second? Yes, Senator, oh gosh, I'm gonna say this. Fontenot. No. And then Tuck. Okay. All right, let's do it. Okay, I can get through.
All right, so Article 4, Section 1, duties A, for the president, this is what it reads as now. I'm not going to read it. We're going to add a line that said, shall succeed to office immediately after serving as vice president. Okay, that's change number 1. Change number 2 is the same article, but in Section B, we're going to add a line that says the vice president will serve a 3-year consecutive term. Year 1 as vice president, year 2 as president, and year 3 as immediate past president. And then in C, same article, we're going to add a line that says shall succeed to office immediately after serving as president. Then we have one more change in Article 5, election procedure, Section 4, election of officers. We're going to remove president since we don't actually elect the president. Is there any debate, questions, comments?
You'll go back to so, first, the vice president will serve a 3-year consecutive term. Now, if they're in their second year of as a staff senator, then it still makes sense that it says they serve a 3 years, because then they'll serve. Okay, I just want to make sure that
They will be on a 5-year plan.
Yeah, that's what I thought, but I just want to make sure like that need any other kind of words with it. You know, that it's okay that they'll be here.
Yeah. They got a 30-year.
Old.
Yeah. You can serve for a long time on staff senate. Right.
All right.
Allow you to make a.
Yep. Who would like to move to vote on the bylaw changes? Oh, all right. Oh, we got a second. Senator Adams. All right. All in favor of the bylaw changes, say aye. All opposed, say no. All right, the ayes have it. Beautiful. So the last portion, of course, we want to hear from you all, bring good news, celebrations, things to share with the greater group from your representative areas or bigger questions that you might have. So I would definitely want to open the floor. And for the people that are online, if you don't mind, if you do have something you want to share outright for the greater community, if you can just come up and stand in this area, or I will repeat the question for you or the statement in a very summarized way. Game day's coming Saturday, y'all. Get ready. Get there early if you're going downtown. What else? Yes. Wow, congratulations. Let's give it an applause. So School of Medicine Greenville is creating a staff council. And this is another beautiful opportunity that you can do in your representative areas to bring your staff together, especially to hear their voices, have a pulse of what's going on, and then bring that back to what's happening here. So that's amazing. Thank you for sharing that. Anything else? Yeah, it's September and we're tired. Secretary Hodge, yes. With that, y'all, I'm gonna go ahead and move to adjourn. Can I get a motion to move to adjourn? Senator Chambers, second, Senator Epps. All right. All those in favor say aye. All those opposed say no. All right, the ayes have it. Staff Senate stands in adjournment until October 8th.
Talking about affiliate, joining our subcommittee, come talk to me. We'll make sure that we keep you on the list.
Yep, affiliate subcommittee and then women's leadership subcommittee. All right, thank you online for tuning in.